Hey everybody, it's Darrell with the Back 40 broadcast. We're doing a second attempt today because our first attempt about 10 minutes ago, we heard our sound wasn't that great. And so one of the first things we want to find out right now is we're doing Facebook Live, kind of an impromptu thing we did today on our Back 40 page, is we want to find out if the sound is working. So if you're hearing this and I sound good, it's good. Yay! We like it when it's good. Okay, so getting back to where we started about 10 minutes ago, and you can go watch that part in a minute if you like to see fails. There are no fails, though, in the Back 40. That's what's cool. It's all learning opportunities. So now we're going to have to figure out what's going on with the audio in our computer. Fix that. But welcome to the Back 40 broadcast, where every week we bring you a nugget or a nudge to support you in creating your second half of life as your best half of life. And we're doing it a little different today. We're coming out on our Facebook page, trying some new things. And if you're here live, just say hello. Send a heart or say your name. As a matter of fact, we want to have some interaction here because I'm going to pose some questions in a minute, see where you're at about some of the things I'm bringing up. But be sure to comment below. Just say that you're here. And if you're seeing this on the replay later, again, comment below. Let us know that you came by. Let us know what you think about some of the things we're going to discuss here. Give us your thoughts because we can interact in this forum long after the broadcast is over. This is like goes on forever. So, excuse me, I'm going to get a little bit of water. Every Wednesday, I put out a newsletter, and I've always called it the Jolt Note for the last. Let me get my water. For the last 3.5 years, and that always stood for Job Overhaul Life Transformation because I've been in the careers world for 30 years, and I'm also in the life transformation world for 30 years. So today, though, I changed it. And if you get my weekly newsletter, go check it out. It says Joy Overhaul. Because what I realize is whether it's careers, whether it's our Back 40 that we're building, it's really all about joy. And it's really all about where we're going to bring joy to it. Because if there's no joy there, what's the use? So today, I put out my newsletter and the subject, I love the change too. Someone just commented. Let's see if I can show that here. Alexandra just commented that she loves the change to joy. Yeah, it's always, job isn't that exciting anyhow. Career and purpose, those are exciting and those bring joy. Job is a job. So the subject today of the newsletter and what we want to talk about here today is what I'm calling alternative energy. And yes, it's a play on words, and I like to do that. But what we're really looking at is how are we gonna and how do we deal with the choices of alternative energy given the things that happen in life? Okay, we can easily, create a dyad right now of positive and negative. Positive energy, negative energy. And one of the things that I don't know that we all are totally, I know I'm not, immediately in control of is what choice I'm making, okay? And, let's get down to it. And why does this, by the way, relate to the Back 40? I got it that time. I know we're all pleased. Why does this relate to the Back 40? Because in the Back 40, we say you have yet to do what you came here to do. In other words, no matter what big accomplishments you have, under your belt already. And by the way, make sure you comment when you come in. If you see this going on, make a comment below, let us know you're here. But in the Back 40, no matter what you've already accomplished and no matter what your age, we say you have yet to do what you came here to do. And that means you're going to be interacting with and relating to and involved with more and more people, more and more organizations, more and more businesses that you're going to do deals with, more and more careers or your organizations you're going to be working with, more and more people that you're going to be enrolling in your message or your mission. You know, that's not the way that life kind of is set up, given our standard societal messages about getting older. You know, society generally says is that we're moving up and making a difference and doing all of our big things in 40s, 50s, and then at 60s, 70s, and 80s, we're going to start declining, start insulating more, be less connected. And we all know the archetypes of the crotchety old man or the crotchety old woman. You know, they have opinions and they have judgments and they have scars and, you know, enough for everybody, right? And, you know, life is just kind of shrinking at that point. Well, you know, in the Back 40, we're about turning that societal conversation around. We're about saying, well, what if you have yet to do what you came here to do? What if your big play isn't even going to come till you're 76 or 87 or 94? And if that's the case, you're going to continue to expand, continue to learn, try things, fail sometimes, and pick yourself up and keep going and learn more. And you're going to keep interacting with more and more people. And when you interact with people, Jean-Paul Sartre, I don't know that I'm pronouncing his name right, but he said, hell is other people. And when you think of the crotchety old man or crotchety old woman, that fits because they pretty much have this much room for alternative opinions and alternative ways of living and alternative ideas. But again, if we're going against the grain, then it means that we're going to be expanding our realms of what's possible. And we're going to be learning more and dealing with more and more people. And when you deal with more and more people, stuff's going to happen. It always does. And here's the deal. We can't control the actions of others. We can only control our reaction and how we respond to what other people are going to do. So here's the deal, folks. There's going to be stuff that's going to happen, and all the evidence will say that we're right. All the evidence will say that it's screwed up. And by the way, if you want to actually see a full write-up of everything I'm talking about right here, make sure when we wrap up here, you go check out a full blog that I wrote on it this morning, bit.ly/BF blog 11. But the point being is, you know, all the evidence has us being right. And yet, what is that going to do for us? And that's the unseen energy and the unseen energetic choice that we all have to make. And a lot of times that unseen, the effects of that unseen, even though we're really juicy and, you know, with all of our evidence and everything right here, it's hard and fast evidence, you know, that we're right. All that unseen, the effects of that unseen. Okay, good. Well, it sounds like I'm frozen right now. If I unfreeze like the Disney movie. Okay, so this is really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, and you let me know if you hear me again. So here's the point. Okay, I'm back. Man, there is a challenge. The universe is challenging us in getting this message out today. So I invite you to really listen to this and go back and listen to it again because the universe is giving us challenges. And there's something here, I think, for all of us to really, you know, get is that even though the evidence is there that we're right, us being right can be extremely costly. And it will often show up in ways that seem unrelated to whatever that thing was that happened. For example, in the morning, if the boss, you know, seems to criticize us, then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, we end up kicking the cat. And, you know, seems unrelated, and we've got a whole lot of things that happened in between. but that initial energy evolved to that place. Or let's say we have a JV or a joint venture or business relationship, and we feel like someone stiffed us or didn't do us well, and all of a sudden the power steering goes out in our car, all seemingly unrelated, and yet, hey, my dad is watching. Now that's a big deal, folks. My dad's watching. So Dad, why don't you, I'm going to actually put it up here. When your dad says, I got you, that's pretty substantial, right, folks? My dad's got me. So thanks, Dad. So here's the point. If we can start to be aware of these energy choices we're making when those things happen, it's not going to happen naturally that we're going to be aware of those things, because the natural default is to be right. And we're all built that way, folks. We're just all built that way. And in terms of fulfilling on what we came here to do in our Back 40, we got a conversation going on now. Isn't that cute? Now Alexander's saying hi to my dad. We're going to have a party here, folks. I hope you join in. Come in, give us some of your comments. Say hello to my dad, too. Here's the point. If we have yet to do what we came here to do, we're going to be involved with more people. We got to watch the energy. We got to watch and be aware of and observe what we're doing. Good. I'm glad you can still see me. By the way, this interaction is cool. I love it when there's people commenting to me while I'm sharing my message. So please do so. If you're going to do what you came here to do, I'm going to finish this sentence now. You're going to be playing with more people. You're going to have to be observant and watch the energy so it doesn't go into the default I'm right mode, because your bitches and moans and my bitches and moans can end us up as the old crotchety man or woman if we're not watching out. So I have 4 steps here today that I want to offer you in terms of choosing your alternative energy. So the first step is to, can you see that? Catch the wave. Catch the wave. Start to become observant, especially when it's challenging times or when you feel that you need to set the score right, redress your grievances. Start to see that energy and start to see the very, very seductive nature of it. Man, it feels juicy to be right. And man, if we can, go mix it up now and, you want to step outside, we're going to handle this thing. It's really underneath what's all going on, because, the ego really, really wants us to be right. And so the first step, though, is just noticing the pull, because it's a natural, wave of energy going south, going to the negative. So catch it, start to observe it rather than just, let it happen to you. All of a sudden at the end of the day, you're in a bad mood or you're irritable or, you're even just melancholy and you don't even know what happened to bring you there. Start being observant ongoingly of the energies of the way you're feeling. Number 2, ride the wave. Once you notice the default path, once you notice all the things running through your mind of what you're going to do to set the record straight and, make things right and, come out justified, just ride that wave a little bit and start to notice where it ends you up. I heard a piece. I'm always doing my own personal development too. And I heard a piece from Wayne Dyer the other day. And he said, one of the great questions to always ask in any action you're going to take, and I would add to that any reaction that you're going to take, is, will this bring me peace? In the end, will this bring me peace? And, it's a tough choice, folks, because being right and, coming out with our ego, somewhat bandaged by, proving that we were wronged and all this kind of stuff. It's so natural. But when you look at it in the end, does it bring you into arguments? Does it bring you into, separation and division from other people and everything? Is that really going to bring you peace? So ride the wave in your mind. Don't act it out, okay? But ride the wave in your mind and see where it's going to go. Yeah, very good. I'm going to put that comment up. Alexandra says, love that idea, being guided by choosing peace in all our choices. Well, thank God for Wayne Dyer, right? Really great luminary, great soul. Left us with a lot. I'm listening to all his stuff these days. Third step is clear my throat. Third step is wave goodbye. If you see that path isn't in the end going to end you up more happy, more peaceful, more joyful, wave goodbye to that path. Be courageous and bold enough to do something different. Alexandra said this morning, The Road Less Traveled is a great book, by the way, but it really is the road less traveled to wave goodbye to being justified and being right. Wave goodbye to the path that isn't going to bring you peace. And then the fourth step is make waves. Actually generate. Start to generate the thoughts that are going to bring you more good feelings. You have to generate these, folks, because they don't come naturally. So maybe you got to, one of the things in our Back 40 program, our live programs and our online programs, especially in a new program, a brand new program called the Renewal Program, which is about bringing newness to all of you. I'm going to actually give you a link to it in a minute. I'm going to give you a 25% off because it's brand new and I'd love for you to go check it out. And it's very inexpensive anyhow. But the point is, one of the things we offer in there about making waves is a little exercise. When something kind of bad has happened, is sit down and write out 20 reasons why it's the best thing that ever happened to you. Now that's crazy, right? How can something bad be good for you? Well, it will be bad for you as long as you think it's bad for you. And it can start moving towards good for you when you start thinking it's good for you. In our book, The Back 40, which I'm finalizing, we're going to bring out in the fall, one of the things we say about embracing your past is, what if everything that ever happened to you, all of those awful things, were actually perfect and exactly what needed to happen to get you where you are now, to be who you came here to be and do what you came here to do. So the point is, you got to make the waves. You got to make the waves going towards a positive, because they won't happen necessarily. Well, they won't happen on their own. So those are 4 steps. 4 steps for choosing alternative energy. Catch the wave of the default way it's going. Ride the wave in your mind and see where that default's going to take you. Wave goodbye to the energies that aren't going to get you where you really want to be, and then start making waves. And look, there was a great book written years ago called Everything I Ever Needed to Know. I was taught in kindergarten. There's lots of ways that we can make waves going towards the positive, and 10 of them yourself right now. So the question is just, can we observe and watch and generate a choice of alternative energy that's going to keep us going towards who we came here to be and what we came here to do. So if you have not seen it yet, make sure, I'm going to put it up one more time, is I wrote a blog this morning all about this. And if you go to BF blog 11, you can read about it. Also, while you're there, make sure you grab your top 10 tips for a radical second half of life. If you had those before, grab them again because they're new and updated. And if you're watching this, I'm going to offer something we just put up. Okay, that was not what's supposed to be there. Okay, so it's back back40.com. No, theback40.com. Hang with me here, folks. I'm going to make you a cool offer, and it's worth waiting. Theback40.com, renew all. If you go to theback40.com, renew all, we just are putting up our new program. We still got a little bit of some tweaks to do in there still, but it is a program. It's an hour and a half. It's 5 video modules to support you in kind of what we're talking about here today, is to take the hard knocks of the school of life or the untoward things that occur, whether it be layoffs from our job or divorce or losing a loved one. And again, there's big things that happen to us, but we take those, and if you move them through the path of this Renew All program, it supports you to take the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune and turn it into gold, to actually turn the things that occur to us in life as being bad things into more direction towards our purpose and who we came here to be and what we came here to do. So if you go to theback40.com/renew all, and it's RENEWALL, and you put in this code up until this weekend, I think until Sunday, put in CWC 2017, you'll get 25% off of the Renew All program. And I'm telling you, it's way inexpensive anyhow for all the power and possibility that it packs. But use CWC 2017 at theback40.com/renew all and get 25% off. Hope this was valuable today. Thanks for hanging. And if you're seeing this on the replay, make comments below about this whole idea of alternative energy and what it's going to take for us to play our big game. I think us watching our energy and turning it the direction we want to go is a big part of that. Thanks for joining me. See you again next week. Have a radical week.